Namaste, beloveds. Excuse me. This is Mother with Wisdom, aka Valerie Ames, and this is the second video of today. This is the second portion of the ultraviolet crystallized rainbow warriors. This is activating the laws and judgments of unconditional love. And so let's just get right into it. Um, what is unconditional love, and why is it the responsibility of the firstborns to care for the younger, weaker, and elders? Okay, what is unconditional love? Unconditional love is the wisdom of existence. It is the prime, the original material or building blocks of everything that exists. Unconditional love is the foundation of wisdom. Unconditional love is the foundation of existence. Unconditional love is the reason for being. Unconditional love is the reason for expanding, or the cycles and the seasons. And beloveds, all of this is coming up as I'm speaking it. Unconditional love has to be identified as the building block of everything that we do with integrity. Unconditional love has to be the reason for laws. Unconditional love has to be the reason for judgments. Unconditional love has to be the reason for discipline. Unconditional love has to be the reason for correction. Unconditional love is the reason for validation. Unconditional love is the reason for devotion. Unconditional love is the foundation of adoration. Humanity has a love-hate relationship with unconditional love. When humanity begins to realize, to recognize that that is the foundation of its impetus to mature, deep psychological, physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental changes will take place. And it will seem as in the blink of an eye, beloveds. And all the old things will fall away. They will fade from memory. They will become the dinosaurs. They will become the fossils. They will become the fuel of enlightenment. Whoa, that was deep. Unconditional love can be seen or compared to the sun, the brilliance, the warmth, the non-prejudice, the strength. The sun is going to shine. The sun is going to rise and it is going to set. The sun is going to provide warmth. The sun is going to provide light. The different frequencies of that light varies, changes all the time, from second to second, but the sun does not change. That is unconditional love. That is something you can rely upon. That is something you can depend upon. And I need you to make the connection that unconditional love provided the resources that you can depend upon to exist. How you choose to exist should be based upon unconditional love. And when it is not, then you have chaos. You have violence. You have greater death occurring. You have shorter lifespans. You have more disease. You have more mental problems and anxiety, where you are concerned about your conscious and unconscious survival. You feel unprotected because you feel unloved. Because you have no faith in unconditional love to care for you, to provide for you, to protect you. We have come, or we have fallen a great distance from the wisdom that we once knew, from the wisdom that we once used to build our relationships with ourselves and with each other, and to align the individual with the collective with. It was unconditional love. It was not competition. It was not judgment. It was not from a place of superiority. It wasn't from a place of greed, because abundance was abundant. That is the benefit, one of the benefits of unconditional love, is an overflowing abundance. We need to realize with real eyes, we need to observe. Step outside of the mental, the emotional, and the physical, and stand within your spiritual temple, your realized fortress of solitude. And I just gave a visualization in the first video of how to do that, how to create that sacred space, that womb. How to reconnect and how to reaffirm who you are and why you incarnated, and what you're here to do, and what you're here to be. And the highest frequency, how to activate that. And the best ways to activate that, beloved, is through law, universal laws. Universal laws founded upon unconditional love must be the tool that is used to govern human beings, must be the tool that is used upon the earth for the sake and the safety of the cycles and seasons that are yet to be born. It is in our hands. We are the creators and co-creators. We design from our will. Our will comes from our heart. So whatever is in our heart, whatever is in your heart comes from your thoughts and your feelings. Your thoughts and your feelings have a baby, and they plant that seed in your heart. And from your heart vibrates the frequencies of your desires, your wants, your needs. And you call like a beacon, like a signal, sending it out to the universe. And the universe answers in the lessons that manifest for you as your reality, consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously. Grounding yourself, once again, beloveds. I've heard so many people say ground yourself, but they never tell you what to ground yourself in. Some say just ground yourself in the earth. That's one realm. But if you ground yourself in unconditional love, that's very specific. And yet, there is nothing more expansive, more inclusive, more deeper, more louder, more silent than unconditional love. So learn to immerse yourself in that state of being. Learn to ground yourself in that state of being. That is the state of being that is full of peace, full of love, full of acceptance, full of forgiveness, full of compassion, full of empathy, full of understanding. It allows for birth, death, and rebirth. It does not demand perfection. It is fully aware of the diversity needed for the polarities of existence to support unconditional love. It is patient. Ground yourself in unconditional love, with unconditional love, for unconditional love, as unconditional love. I am that I am. I am unconditional love. Meaning I don't have to judge you. I don't have to be at war with you. I don't have to lie to you. I don't have to trick you. I don't have to cheat on you. I don't have to steal from you. I don't have to kill you. To survive, to be, to exist. That is the responsibility of the firstborn. That is the knowing of yourself, and that is the implementing of unconditional love. That is the teaching of unconditional love. That is being the example of unconditional love. And that is for the younger, for the weaker, for the elders. Not everyone is going to be on the same page. Not everyone is going to be on the same level. Firstborn understands this. Firstborn understands the responsibility that they are the wayshowers for what comes next. Firstborn would be like John the Baptist and Jesus' relationship. The firstborn knows who it is. And its greatest sense of expression and frequency is to expand what was activated within themselves and to pass that on. So that the next phase, cycle, season of unconditional love can expand even more, can reach even higher, deeper, wider, create even more frequency shapes, seen and unseen. Knowing that you're connected to it all. So there's no need to be jealous. There's no need to be greedy. There's no need to feel that someone is outshining you or they're going to take more and you're going to have less. That's the mind. That's the ignorance of the mind. That's the immaturity of the mind. That is the logic of a child who does not understand universal laws, who separates itself from the wisdom of unconditional love. Okay. The next The role of divine law and divine justice. This blew my mind as it came to me, beloveds. I'm going to state it again. The role of divine law and divine justice within the circle of life. And this came to me in so many different ways. And then it was broken down into its simplest form in the way I'm going to give it to you now. And like I said, it just blew my mind. Again, the circle of life. The movie The Lion King. Lion King. Solar, the sun, the king of unconditional love, the firstborn light, if you will. That was Mustafa in the movie The Lion King. Scar was the second-born son. And Scar, for the purposes of this explanation of unconditional love, represents Donald Trump. I want you to see Scar as the archetype for Donald Trump and his cronies, okay? And I want you to understand Scar's relationship to Mufasa. And Mufasa being Uncle Sam, okay? The soul of America. The soul and spirit of America. Of the perfect union. Of the, what is it called? The independence, the Constitution. The Constitution of America is based and rebuilt and born from unconditional love. Okay? And Scar wanting to be the dictator or autocrat. He does not want the democracy. He wants to be served. He wants to rule. He wants to be the overlord. Okay? And Niobe, Mustafa's wife, the mother of Simba, she is justice, divine wisdom, Ma'at. And Simba represents the rainbow warriors, this divine masculine essence of the rainbow warriors. And Nala represents the divine feminine of the rainbow warriors. And both are firstborn. Rafiki is the spirit of wisdom or grace or the Holy Spirit that guides, that does not judge, does not tell what to do, but guides and allows the growth and expansion, allows the mistakes, knows that all is needed, that the polarities are all needed, and that they will right themselves, because that is what universal love is all about. And I want you to understand that the hyenas are the second born who are discontent. And in the end, karmic justice is the judgment of nature. Because you know how the movie ends. The hyenas turn upon Scar and they devour him. And then they go back to just being hyenas. And the original design, universal design of the lion pride remains intact. And it is led now from a higher octave of frequency of wisdom based upon what happened with Scar, Simba, Nala, Niobe. I think her name was Niobe. And the experiences that Simba had, that Simba and Nala had. And that is passed forward. Beloveds, we have so much that has been passed forward to us through unconditional love. Unconditional love said, write it down so the children will know. Pass these stories so the children will know. Now, these stories have been reinterpreted and reiterated, and the narratives have been changed, and the characters and everything else have been rearranged and changed and given new names and everything. But the moral, the principle, the valuation, the worth of the universal love, the unconditional love of the story remains. And that is what speaks and reveals itself to your spirit, to your highest nature, regardless of your thoughts, consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously. I want to speak on the uptick in violence that is being perpetrated, that is a result of Scar, of Scar's lies, of Scar's agenda, of Scar's struggle to maintain his grasp, his hold, his foot upon the neck of justice. Remember, he now commands the divine feminine, the lionesses. And he does not do it with unconditional love. He does it from a place of cowardice, from a place of violence, from a place of vengeance, from a place of fear, because he knows his time is short. He knows this is not going to last. He knows. But in knowing all of this, he still proceeds from a narcissistic, addictive drive and frequency because of his own anxiety and thoughts and feelings about being separate from unconditional love. and having no faith in unconditional love, so he has to do everything himself. He has to control. He has to manipulate. He has to lie. He has to cheat. He has to make things happen with brute force the way he wants it to. And there's always a pack of hyenas full of discontent, scavengers that don't want to be scavengers. They want to rule, other than be who they were designed to be. The violence is a symptom that peace is gaining ground in frequency in the collective. And so you have an uptick in violence because they fear what losing ground. They fear the control, losing control. They see it, they hear it, they smell it, they taste it, they know it. But to their last breath, they will fight. They will sputter, they will spit. The demon of that fear is going to express itself because it sees itself separate. It sees itself in jeopardy. It does not see itself as part of the collective. It does not know the inclusiveness of unconditional love. It does not know the non-judgmental existence of Ma'at, of justice. There are so many sides of division. There are so many seeds sown to cause and to keep division in place, when the truth is unity. And unity is diverse in its nature. It's the macrocosm and the microcosm. It is the polarities of all. It is the four directions. It's the up and down. It's the in and out. All are needed. One is not more important than the other. And that is what unconditional love knows. That is the divine wisdom of it. Doesn't have to guess. Well, let me see which portion of this and which portion of that. Doesn't have to do all of that. Doesn't have to take measure. Doesn't have to judge. Doesn't have to guess. Doesn't have to figure. Doesn't have to dole out. It doesn't have to say, well, I'm being generous and stingy and I'll give you more and I'll give you less. That's not the way unconditional love works. Like I said, we need to ground ourselves more in unconditional love and truly what it means. and stop being so judgmental. I look at the laws right now and everything that's going on with Moscow Mitch, the Senate, and the United States concerning the right to vote and how easy it should be to vote. Again, I want you to bring the Lion King into that picture. And I want you to look at the archetypes. Would Mufasa want everybody to vote? Would Scar want everybody to vote? Or would Scar just rather the hyenas have a voice? Or vote? Only the hyenas get to vote because they on my side, and y'all lions and lionesses, y'all back off. Y'all don't, we gonna make it hard for y'all to vote. Y'all giraffes and monkeys and all, none of y'all votes count. Only mine and the hyenas. And if y'all win, we get to say, nope, that's not it. And turn all that vote upside down and say we won. I mean, beloveds, do you realize the foundation that is being set? Do you realize the standards that are being set? Do you realize what is getting ready to hand itself off to the next generation? Is it based? Is it grounded in unconditional love? Is it for the greater good of all? Or just a few? We have so much that wisdom has seeded and given us to show us the way. We have the sun and the moon. We have the stars and the planets. We have the cycles and the seasons. We have nature itself. We have family units, the mother and the father. We have the village. We have the womb itself. All of these things teach. All of the elements teach. All of them show you how to connect with the greatest wisdom, and that the greatest wisdom is unconditional love. And that it is for all. And I'm going to close out this portion now, and there'll be one more portion of this, being that I was told to read a card, and I'm going to do that in the next video. So I've covered everything that I've needed to cover in this particular one, and that was the activity activating the laws and judgments of unconditional love. Activating the laws and judgments of unconditional love. Okay. Namaste, beloveds. I hope these videos help expand your conscious awareness and your frequency and add to your wisdom. And I hope you share it with others. Namaste.